All right. And now it should work. Okay, it works. All right. All right. Sorry about that. Thanks for catching that early for me, Survivor. What's up? Dude. Uh okay, yeah. Cause man, I've not been streaming as much recently, so there's all these like software updates that's like breaking everything. So cause you gotta love software updates from major companies. Mac OS just feels like it's just getting buggier over time. Oh, dude. Okay. Yeah, so oh, Adadayo makeup. Okay. Yeah, I want to see how people did. How did you guys do? Did you guys if you're here and you're okay sharing your score, can you share your score in the format of if you're paper SAT, can you actually do like reading minus X and then you know Y out of 400. So like, can you say okay? So I'm actually just gonna type it here. Ah, damn it! That was not what I was trying to do. It's reading minus 3, or that is like 380 out of 400. Writing minus 1, 390 out of 400. Something like that. If you're paper SAT, can you do that? And if you're digital SAT, God, I saw those. Oh, dude, I saw those score reports. Man, that's so uninformative. It makes me so angry. But for digital SAT, I guess you literally can only share. You can only share the freaking what do you call it? Like the like just a score, and like there's really nothing else. Like these stupid ranges. Oh my God, it pisses me off just thinking about it. I saw this. If you took the digital SAT, I guess you just have to say, dude, like literally for digital SAT, what can you even share? You can just share, like 750, um, R&W 750, math 780, something like that, right? Yeah, I think that's the main thing that's surprising about the digital SAT. I like this curve. I'm still not 100% sure, but I'm trying to confirm whether this curve is similar to the Blue Book practice tests or not similar to the Blue Book practice tests. I think that's the most important thing. But the funny thing is, because the College Board is doing this sort of like, oh, let's be more opaque. Let's share less data situation. Like it's gonna be really hard to know because I don't think you're gonna be able to tell me how many questions you got wrong. freaking freaking College Board, man. Just what's the whole point of switching to digital if you're just gonna be more opaque? Like anti-cheating is just such a lame excuse. Anyway, yeah, it's a thing. Just gonna move on. Let me. So, probably getting a bunch of comments on that recent thing. All right, I should go and look at. I should go look at. I'll come to the comments in a second, but I made a post recently, so I want to go to that post. Also, I don't know if you guys can tell, but I can kind of hear it. I'm like not fully awake, so my pronunciation is not good, dude. Uh, okay. Well, we don't have a lot of paper reactions yet. Uh, yeah. Yeah, I mean that's kind of the way it should have been, right? No, Saman, that should have been the situation. Inspire 1460. Are you happy about that or are you not happy about that? Because that depends on your expectations. Okay, so you are. It was roughly. It was roughly what you were expecting. Okay, only water, long time. Good to see you. I've been okay. Honestly, I've been having a pretty hard time with my life, but you know, I'm coming out of it. Let me deal with some environmental situation. Give me a sec. I need my AC on, but I also need water because oh dude, I'm so fuzzy. It's like it's 5 a.m. right now. Ugh. Okay. I'm gonna bring what do you call it? I'm gonna bring some Snickers. I'm back, I'm back, I'm back. My emergency calories. So hang on, who else is willing to share scores? And Inspire, are you gonna keep studying or are you done? This is digital? This looks like digital because normally yeah, this is digital. Well, I just want to say inspect element. uh, dude, who else got comboed by College Board? Is this for digital? This might be digital, right? Calculator math. Dude, that is intense. 1470 and then 1210. That sucks so hard. Holy crap. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm not. Oh, I'm so bad at multitasking right now. Okay, that's what I was trying to do. I was trying to share my screen. Um, so I was looking at this title. My bad. I wasn't even showing you guys what I was reacting to. I'm gonna get some weird ass notification. Okay, thank God. Last stream there was a fun notification. Anyway, I'm turning. I'm slowly like coming back awake, so I'm remembering to share my screen. So that's good. What was this? Oh, right. This is brutal, man. This is super brutal. What the hell? 1470 to 1210. Dude, that is. Oh, this is the first time. First time. I want to get someone. Oh, I was expecting 1500, but I got a 1450. I mean, I'm kind of curious if they got it Um, were you getting 15? Yeah, I'm wondering if they were getting 1500s on the practice tests. Inspire, that's solid, man. That is solid. It sounds like you wanted a better test score, but you know, 680, 780, that's very respectable. Only water, keep your head above water. Keep keep swimming. Did everyone get their scores out already? I'm not seeing the whole like where's my score kind of freak out. Yeah. Yeah, seriously, like this is so frustrating. Does it tell you how many you got wrong from each module? Does it indicate what modules you took? Yeah, actually, I'm gonna say the same thing. If you are happy sending me your, you know, like score report, um, for the sake of the community, if you're happy to send it, and if you're okay with like sharing it on the screen, on stream, that would be, you know, super ideal. But I mean, I understand why that would be uncomfortable for some of you. So if you're happy, if you're okay with sending me that PDF, I'd be curious what kind of information they give, and um, and trying to figure out what they might do. What like at this point I feel like I'm trying to read tea leaves, but like I really want to know like what is the College Board gonna do with this digital SAT? You know, like are they gonna make it harder, or are they gonna keep it the same? What's the curve like? You know, it's really like I'm in the same boat with Yoda as racist. um I really want to know this. Doesn't tell you what questions you got wrong, which is annoying. Bar notation, which is nonsense from what I could tell. 2-3 wrong in the English section, 780. I thought I got one wrong, but I got 800, so yay. -1 module 2. Got downvoted. Yeah, thank you for the information, man. See, this information is super valuable. But so far, what I'm seeing is this is not too crazy. I'm seeing things that are not insane. Like 780 with 2-3 wrong is really good. Yeah, man, and we have to rely on your memory. That is so bad. Holy crap. Working on music, man, that's cool. I am working on Snickers. I'm working on my Snickers. Got a 1510. I mean, that's such a useless. Like this device is so not useful. Um, So this is, see, the College Board thinks that by making things more opaque, that they're gonna actually, this really pisses me off, because the College Board thinks that by not sharing the data, they're going to make it like harder to game the system or something. But actually, if anything, this strengthens the position of tutors. Because now what's going to happen is like, you need, if you want to analyze your performance, then you have to talk to me right after you take the test. And so the tutor is going to be like, okay, try to remember everything you got right and wrong. Like, try to remember every question that you had, and then like explain, and then the tutor is gonna like try to like, I don't know, like tell you how many questions you got wrong roughly, right? So then, and of course the tutor is not gonna be perfectly accurate about this, but the tutors will, like, if you're paying for a tutor, the tutors will tell you, okay, it looks like you got like 3 wrong on the reading section or whatever, based on what you are telling me. So now we can base the curve off of the 3 questions that you got wrong, and then you get like a 770. It's like, okay, that looks right. You got 3 wrong, you got 770, and you're supposed to be weak on this. So, and it doesn't even matter if the tutor is right or wrong. The main thing is that because the College Board is not being transparent, like, students will have no other choice. Okay, if students have no money, then they literally just have no other choice. They just don't know. Like, they'll just live without knowing whether they got, what they got wrong. And, like, it's just really this fuzzy thing from that stupid report that I saw for the digital SAT online. Or if they do have money, then they will rely even more on their tutors, because the College Board is not providing information. And if this is supposed to be anti-cheating, then what the hell is the digital format about? Like, the digital format is already pretty good at being an anti-cheat device. So, I don't know. Wait, is this the international? It is the international, but somebody said EBRW. Survivor, have you not gotten your scores yet? Because usually, yeah. So usually it comes out like, well, when we say usually, we're talking about back in the day with paper SATs. So we'll see if this changes. But up until now, it was pretty typical for it to get released like 6:30 ish, okay, in the morning in Eastern time, and then 6:30 p.m. Eastern time. Right now, actually, stupid daylight time zone, daylight savings time, time in New York. Right now it's 6:20, so it should, if you didn't get, yeah, if you didn't get your scores 12 hours ago, there's a very, very good chance that you'll be covered soon, like in the next 10 minutes. So it should be coming out pretty soon. And actually, yeah, who else is waiting for their scores still? Should I do a poll here? And by the way, guys, maybe I should actually type it into the thing, but part of the point of this stream is not just me looking stuff up on Reddit, okay, and just ranting. Like, you guys can ask me for study advice. So, like, if you're gonna continue studying for the SAT, or if you're not, or if you don't know, right? You can talk about that here, okay? So let me actually let me write that. How to go. Is that looking? Is that looking okay? No, it's like bleeding into. If you share details, share advice for next steps. Right. That's doable, right? Will they release more practice tests? They almost certainly will not. They almost certainly will not. So what I need to do. But God, my life has been such a mess. They almost certainly will not release more practice tests. So I already have a big database of questions that you could use. You have to join the Discord server for it. But once you're in the server, it's it's just a click. So I could so I have a big database of questions based on the QAS reformatted for the digital SAT. It's a couple hundred questions, so you can go right into that and use that for practice if you haven't already. And then besides that, there's actually not that many more resources. So I'm thinking of. I want to share more resources, and it should be my highest priority. But like things have been a little crazy with my life, so like there's other things that are going on, and it's really unclear to me what's going to be my schedule. So it's hard to promise anything, but just know that I want to share. I want to share more resources for practice soon. No retaking? Yo, well, yeah. Hey, good luck, man. Good luck. You're literally probably about to see it soon. Essay, you got lower than expected. Sorry to hear that. If you don't mind sharing, I can help you at least think about some other details. Wow, that's interesting. This is information that they share. The Korean percentiles are insane. 96 global. Yeah, but yeah. I mean, yeah. Uh, that's actually interesting information. By the way, then actually, yeah. What for digital SAT kids? What were your local? That's actually super interesting. That's so weird that they share that information, but not useful practical information. Because this is not practical. Like you can't practicable. You can't do anything with this information. You can just feel sad, like sadder about yourself. That's basically it. Or like let's say I'm from a country and I got 96 percentile in global, but I got 99th percentile in national. Like that makes me feel smarter, but it makes my country seem dumber. And like, does that make you feel good at all? Like what's you can't even do anything with this information. What you can do though with like, but it really helps to know how many you got wrong on a section for the digital SAT, because then you can realize, oh, okay, I felt like I got one or two vocab questions wrong. Okay, I got two vocab questions wrong. That means I need to work on vocab. Like that would be so much more practicable. You can actually use that information. This is not useful information. It's interesting, right? Not useful. It's so annoying. Oh, Sa, you are an unusual. I'm gonna call you Sa because I don't know what else to call you, but you are an unusual viewer. Your reading and writing is stronger than your math. So maybe you should watch less of me and more of a math guy. But it sounds like you need to improve your math. Oh, Sarah, what's up? Wait, you're not a Sarah that I happen to know, right? Because I'm just gonna assume I don't know you. Okay. And you got lower than expected. You got 1260. Are you thinking? Are you thinking of taking? Are you thinking of taking it again? So this kind of question isn't very like useful because just so you know, like there's no correct answer to this. Like it depends on what school you're trying to apply to. So like the only way to answer whether this is good or not is by looking at the stats for that school that is your dream school. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that's hey Sarah, it sounds like you're really solid on honestly, if you didn't study at all and you just that's what you pulled off, you're solid on the reading writing. So it's just a matter of now, identifying your weaknesses and maybe maybe putting a little bit of extra effort on the reading writing. But honestly, it looks like just focusing on math is gonna be more efficient for you. That said, if you literally did not study at all for the reading writing, then it is possible. It is possible with some guidance because right now there's not a lot of books. Um, so it could be like a tutor, or it could be like literally just like analyzing yourself, like to no end. But like with some guided study, you might be able to bring up that reading and writing quite a bit. That said, that's not as easy to do because reading and writing, there's like what, four practice tests, and yeah, it's not going to be, unless you are willing to pay for a tutor, it's going to be hard to like actually like figure out how to improve on your specific weaknesses. Yeah, we have a couple Damilola. That sounds very Nigerian. Is that Nigerian? Bamidele. That sounds super Nigerian. Um, you're taking it tomorrow. I think we have another viewer taking it tomorrow as well. Oh, this is super. This is actually the information I needed. Yeah, actually, that's probably what for DSAT, like your typical blue book score versus your actual score. I'm really that's the thing I really need to know now that I think about it. And plus context, I guess. Like, did you panic? Was your performance? How was your like test taking? What? How similar to the practice test was your test taking during the real test? Is that confusing? Do you guys understand what that means? If you guys can actually share that, that would at least help me understand what the curve might be like. You know, on the blue book, I was actually getting, -3 and 770 or 740 or whatever. But then on this test, I don't know how many I got wrong, but it looks like I got this kind of score, you know? That would be helpful because then I can kind of guess what the blue book is like, how the test is kind of changing. I don't know. It's still sort of fuzzy and like kind of like reading tea leaves, but still, it's a start. Yep, survivorship bias. Okay, well, yeah, I don't know if there's anything else I can learn here. And Survivor, or yeah, Survivor. Do you remember that? Are you specifically talking about the reading writing? The math, or are you talking about both? Events? Dude, that sucks. But yeah. New 1500 though, that's solid. All right, let's go check the US curve conversation. Oh, dude, my brain. Dude, I'm so tired. The second one felt ridiculously difficult for the reading and writing. Okay. Survivor, you said this earlier. Let me just remind yourself. Oh, you're hoping to get above 1400. Okay. Above 1400. So you should be getting the harder second module, and you should have been doing that on the. You should have been getting. So were you getting about 1400 on the or on the reading and writing? What were you getting on the blue book? Blue book reading and writing. Your score was on average. .630, 660. So you're actually almost hoping for like close to perfect. Like you want like a 750 or whatever on your math to be getting that, right? So and the second module felt a lot harder. If you're in the 1400, if you're in the 650 range, and if the second module felt a lot harder, then probably. So there's a couple places where it would have felt noticeably harder. Like there's the vocab section. So basically, the first somewhere between 4 to 8 questions in a module tend to be the vocab questions where you fill in the blank with some word. Okay. So it's sometimes kind of the questions can be really hard in the vocab section, and then after that there's this sort of like main idea, detail, and like what I call the analysis questions. So that comes second. Yeah, okay. So the vocab section was hard for you. And then the analysis section is like the main idea, the detail, the main purpose, the function of this one, the part function, the function of this one underlying section compared to the rest of the text, right? So that's the analysis section. I find that kids who are getting usually when kids have like 720 or above, they usually get almost all, like the analysis section is not their weakness. They're usually okay with the analysis section. And then it's the reasoning section where they make a lot of mistakes. So reasoning is where you start having to have evidence for like what quotation is the best to support this statement, or what finding would support or weaken this statement, or how do you logically complete this paragraph. So those are all reasoning questions, and that's where you would probably be getting a chunk of your questions wrong as well. If you're getting 650, I would guess you're probably getting like 2 questions wrong on grammar, 2, 3 maybe. Depends on how strong your grammar is, because some kids just have like a freakishly weak grammar, and you just never that's hard to predict. because people's grammar levels are very different from each other. So you might be getting anywhere like you could be getting 0 wrong on grammar. You could be getting like 5 wrong on grammar. I have no idea. Sounds like you might be getting like 2 wrong on the vocab, maybe like 3 wrong on the reasoning. Usually people don't get the expression questions at the end a lot wrong, but you might have gotten 1 wrong, something in that range, right? So that would be pretty typical for like a 650. 600 means that you got the easier section on the math. Actually, I'm not 100% sure where the. I mean, first of all, I like it's not 100. It's not. There's gonna be an overlap. You can be 600 while probably getting the. I don't know actually what the border is, right? But let's just say it's 600. If 600 is the border, like I feel like you could get the harder section and still get 600. You could get the easier section and get 600. I think that part, if it is the border, it's kind of the thing. Oh, that's really interesting. 570 is the max. I don't know if. See, that's the thing though. The fact that 570 is the max does not necessarily mean that there isn't any overlap. Oh no, never mind. I'm being dumb. No, you're right. If it's genuinely the max, then yeah, you definitely got the harder one. But the question is there really a max like that? I don't know. I don't know how you would prove that, because you'd have to get enough wrong on the first one. Survivor, where did you get that information? I'm just curious. Yeah, I bet it's a little I bet it's actually a little unstable, that number. Wait, hang on. Sarah. Yeah. There is a gut, like there is a sort of intuitive answer, which is if it felt way harder, then you got the harder module, because it is noticeably easier when you get like the first module, unless somehow they re-architected the test so that it's like different from the practice tests. Okay, if the test was anything like the practice test, it is very obvious whether you took the easier module or the harder module just by taking it. Like when you take it and it feels harder, it means you got the harder module, because it just is harder, like noticeably harder. It's not like minimally harder, it's like noticeably harder. Same thing, if you take it and it feels easier, it should feel noticeably easier. There was not a single practice test out of those 4 where the second module felt similar to the first module. Okay, they were always either noticeably harder or noticeably easier. So if you felt that it was noticeably harder, you probably got the harder module. Because yeah, I don't think there's a better, because the thing about trying to calculate a max score is that it's really hard to like, because then what you have to do is you have to like you have to do every permutation of like I guess you could get a rough number. I could go to the Blue Book practice test right now, and I could just get enough wrong to get the easy module, to get the first module, like to get knocked out of the first module, and then try to ace it on the second module. And then I just do it over and over until I figure out that sweet spot. But I'm not gonna do that. It's too much work. It's not worth it. But yeah, I don't think that's as useful as just using your gut. It's just if it felt harder, it was harder. You got a very easy second module, but you aced the first one? For 650? Oh man, that's I hope you did okay, because if you felt that the second module was much easier. Wait, Survivor, weren't you literally just saying the second vocab section was impossible for you? I'm confused, because you said that You said that the second section was harder, I thought. Yeah, you said the first English module was easy, while the second one was ridiculously difficult. So now you're saying I got a very easy second module. So I'm just confused. Can you explain what you mean? Yo, can you confirm that I'm back on stream? It looks like I am, but just don't want to double check. Sorry guys, my freaking I don't know why my internet was perfectly stable last season, but like literally yesterday and today my internet just dropped, even though I'm like, what do you call it? Like I'm like plugged in via LAN, so it's definitely the internet service provider. Ugh. Anyway, I'll go figure that out. I'll have to talk to like the landlord. Okay, so Survivor did, yeah, Survivor was what was talking about the math. So okay, I got it. Yo, that would be really weird though if you did well on the first. If you did well on the first, but like you got the easier math section, that's really strange. But I guess math. But I will hesitate from commenting on the math just because I've not even taken the 4 math practice tests, so I don't really know. And I don't tutor math, so I don't really know psychologically like what happens with students. Whereas I do know what happens with students psychologically with for the reading and writing. So I guess in my head it seems plausible that for a math section, the first section and the second section, or first module and second module could feel like the difficulty level doesn't feel subjectively as no that's not clear to me why that would be. That's very strange. If it feels easier, that's very strange. Okay, unless you're getting like duped and it wasn't easy but you thought it was easy, but it sounds like if you were getting 750, then that shouldn't be happening to you. So I don't know. Yeah. Guidance NYC. That must be a tutor as well. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, one thing that is possible but impossible, like it's possible but impossible to prove is your second the in the practice test for the blue book, maybe there were not maybe. In the practice tests for the blue book, there were only 2 possible second modules, okay? But on the real test, it is possible that there are multiple possible branches that you could be. I'm not very articulate today. It's possible that there's more than 2 different modules that you could end up with, depending on the performance on your first module. So maybe, right, maybe because again, this is complete speculation and there's no way to confirm this, but maybe your performance on the first module took you to like the medium hard second module rather than the hard second module, So that's a thing. Oh wait, actually Survivor, then I'm really curious about this. Does this mean that, are you saying specifically everyone got a different second module but the same first module? I don't think you're saying that, right? Because people had different first modules. Oh, by the way, Survivor. Another thing. Actually, I'll just wait for that first question. You're saying that everyone had different second modules, but did they all have this? Oh, oh, that's weird. That's interesting. I'm okay. Hang on. So can we? That's not what I was expecting. I was expecting the College Board to shuffle the first module. So you're telling me your friends at the same center. So first, let's work with this. You and your friends, roughly how many? Are we talking about 2 to 3? Are we talking about 3 to 5? Are we talking about 5 to 10? Like how many? And were you guys all at the same test center, or are you at different test centers? I think that would make this a lot clearer. But that is not what I was expecting. I was expecting you guys to have different first modules and different second modules. Huh. Okay. Okay, then that actually kind of. I thought it was going to be impossible to verify what I said, but it sounds like it's actually right. It sounds like the College Board has more than 2 modules that it shows you in the second module. So for the practice test, probably they didn't do that because they didn't want to leak too many questions, right, to the public. So they limited it by only showing you the hard and the easy module, but not really showing you some of like the more medium modules, right, like in between. But in the second module, that's where they kind of unleash, and it might only be 3 modules or 4 modules. Who knows? I don't know how many different modules they would use, but it sounds like if you all had the same first module, or close to the same first module, but then the second module was completely opaque, then it sounds like there's more than 2, you know. And it depends on your level. So if you look like you're going to be between 750 and 800, it shows you one math module. If it looks like you're going to be between 650 and 750, it shows you a different module. And maybe that's the one you got, where 650 and 750 should feel kind of similar to the first module, but not like not like noticeably more difficult, something like that. Because the first module, at least for reading and writing, the first module for reading and writing isn't always super easy. It's kind of like somewhere in the middle. So yeah, I can see that happening. Yeah, it's interesting. Thank you for sharing that. That was because like literally no one in the world besides people who work at College Board really know how this whole system works. So I'm just very curious about it. Okay, that sounds useful to some extent. Now, then students should just. So students now, if the conclusion I drew is correct, then that means that students can't just assume, oh, I got an easy module, I'm screwed. Actually, maybe you're not screwed. Maybe you got an easy module, but it wasn't the easy module. It was somewhere in the middle. So then you're not screwed. But you might have just not done as poorly as you thought. You might not have done as well as you thought on the first module, right? But if you got like a quote unquote easy second module, then maybe you're still somewhere in the middle. So. That's a good thing. Because when I was teaching the digital SAT, like preparing for the March, I was like worried that for some of the kids who are sort of on the border, right, that like they take the first module, they look at the second module, and they're taking it, and then some time passes, and they're like, wait, this is easier than the first module, and then in real tests, what they will do is, I was afraid that they would just get depressed, right? It's like, fuck it, I'm screwed, right? So I was like, man, I thought it was really, really dumb that there were only 2 modules. That didn't seem like a good design. But if everything you're saying is true, and if I'm not missing any big piece of logic, it does sound like there's more than 2 modules for the second module. Or So I think that's good. That's a good thing. It's good to be able to take the test without getting psyched out by how easy the second module is. Yeah. So your score should be up by now, actually. So let me know. I guess I could do a quick refresh, but your score should be coming up right around now. Yeah. Some people are sharing right now. Oh, okay. Sucks. Wait, this is international. How did this person know? Oh no, this is not international. Okay. Hey guys, I need to go to the restroom real quick, so I'll be right back. Okay. BRB. Guys, I'm so tired. Holy crap. I'm like barely functional. Cause I socialized for the first time in a while. So I went last night. I was out till the ungodly hour of 11 p.m. Normally I'm at home by like 9:30, and I'm like in bed by like 10:30. And I drank the booze. So like my head hurts. And I also woke up at 4:30. Oh my god, I'm like barely functional right now. Ugh. Ugh. Well, I'm just whining. Let's go and look at. You know what? I'm kind of tired of Reddit. Because what else am I gonna learn? Okay, let me think out loud about what are some things I still don't know about the digital SAT that I still want to know. So, first thing I want to know is, hey, hopefully, like I'm probably not gonna get this many students, but like let's say if I got like 20 students and they told me, okay, on Bluebook practice test 1, 2, 3, and 4, I got -3, -5, -3, -2, okay, something like that, right? And my scaled scores were, 700 and 730 and whatever, right? And then on the real test, I think I got -4, right? Because you have to guess. And I got 730. Like I want to hear that. So that's the information that I really really want, because that will help me to at least understand. No, but because it's also possible that there's multiple modules, multiple possible module 2s, then I have to also get one more piece of data, which is on the second module. On the second module, I felt that it was a little easier, a lot easier, or a little harder, or a lot harder than the first module. So that's subjective, and there's gonna be some like false data, but I mean that's the best that we have right now. So yeah, that's the information I need. I need the information of what scores you got on the reading writing, how many you got wrong on the reading writing for the practice tests, and then on the real test, how many you think you got wrong on the first module, how many how hard you thought the second module was, and how many you think you got wrong on the second module, and then your score. And if I have all of that information and we average that out over like a couple dozen kids, then I'll start having a rough sense of how it's working. But right now we don't have a couple dozen kids on stream, so that's not gonna work. But actually, it's interesting. My US viewership, I think, has dropped off ever since I stopped streaming regularly. I guess these days I'm focusing more on digital SATs, so I'm not getting a lot of US. I'm not getting a lot of US viewership these days. Huh. Okay, well, that's all I can say for now. I really want to know that, but we're probably not going to learn that today, unless some others of you are sort of in stealth mode, and you could just sort of share that information. Where do you find the questions? You don't find the questions. I don't think they share the questions on College Board, Sarah. So you're out of luck there. So. Yeah, I mean, what else can you do for the digital SAT, right? Okay, I'm like bored reading Reddit, and also I'm like just too tired, so I'm gonna go do something that's like slightly more fun. Oh, actually, I should double check this. Huh? How come this didn't paste over here? Okay, so that's Ogu, meow, meow. Can you guys hear my cat? I don't know if you guys can hear my cat, because I don't think I have a filter right now. Yeah, you probably can hear my cat, right? Just all right. My cat's very doggy. Very wants my attention all the time. What was I looking for? Oh, I was just looking at this, but I'm not even sharing my screen. So let me share my screen. Okay. Yeah, I'm tired of Reddit. Let's do something else. By the way, guys, this is a resource that I've not been this is a resource I've not been pumping too much, but like, if you really want to get nerdy about grammar, I don't recommend this for everyone. But if you want to get nerdy about grammar, there is an English subsection of the Stack Exchange website. So, and they are nerdy. They are nerdy. Now, I don't know about these days. I used to use it a lot more, like 7 years ago when I was like writing my first grammar book. And I wanted to because I was super nerdy about it, so I wanted to double check everything. So I would come here to kind of get people's opinions. I also think the community is not as active as in the past. Oh, it's still pretty active. Look at that. That's 19 votes, and this was answered 42 minutes ago. So, and it's 3,000 views. That's a lot. It was asked yesterday, it got 3,000 views, and it was modified today, and it got answered today. Yeah. So okay, so easy questions. Can you use amok without run? Oh, this is also kind of a catchy question because like now I'm also thinking about can you use amok without run? And see, look at them. Yeah, this is such. They're such nerds. Yeah, I looked up the word. Merriam-Webster, Collins, Macmillan, Oxford. Dude, I fucking love these nerds. Like God. Amok time, huh? Begin a second amok. This is OED, right? This has to be. This is OED. Jesus. This is pretty crazy, but thank you, OED guy, for sharing. Ah, it is an adverb. Why are they talking about nouns here? I'm actually kind of confused. Anyway, yeah. So if you want to just learn random things about English, like truly, like not necessary for the SAT, but if you want to be if you want to deep dive into very specific aspects of grammar, then you can do that here. For example, can you use the word there as an object pronoun? No. Right? Don't touch there, right? You're not allowed to use it that way. See, I go there is not for this phrase. For example, this is not a pronoun. This is an adverb. I go there, as in I go where. I go there, like a. It's it's an adverb, and I don't know how to explain. But yeah. Yeah, so this is a better explanation. It means in that place, which is an adverb. So yeah, if you want to get super nerdy, you got you can use English Stack Exchange. All right, guys, if you have more questions about like I don't know, like if you're sort of worrying about what to do on your own on your SAT for your SAT studies and stuff, just let me know. I could be watching SAT related YouTube videos, but like my brain is mush, so I'm just gonna take a break and play some word games. And then maybe I'll swing back around to the YouTube videos. And hopefully some of your scores will have come out by then. Dude, I need coffee, dude. I am not well right now. All right, whatever. Slate is so boring. I don't want to start with slate. Slate is like supposed to be like one of the most efficient words to start with. Irate. Yeah, sure, let's do it. So irate is cool because it gives me R's and T's, and R's and T's are very common. But I get three different vowels, so I can check all of them. I don't know I don't know if I've used irate before as an opening word, but do you guys know what it means? Irate. A-E-I-O-U. I guess I could do miter. No, I already used that. I do something weird like voter, and a V would be very inefficient. Ugh. Okay, at this point, I don't want to use TER at all. I'll just do a scan. 오고. Oh, dude, my brain is not working for this. This is too hard. Okay, I'm not fast right now. I'm gonna switch games to something that's a little less thinky. I don't have to think as much, so let me just do this real quick. Moot, loom, googly. I'm just gonna keep going with the double O's. Tool, tooth, moo, moog. Wait, isn't that like a music device related thing? No, it's aerospace and defense. Huh. Oh no, it is music. Oh, but this is a whole other thing. Okay. Yoo-hoo? Oh, you. Goo-goo? Is that a word? Okay. Moo. No moon. We got moot. Did I get loot? Loot. Tuli is not a word, right? Toothy is a word. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Who? That's not a word. Man, those are some Luth woman. Sorry. Alright, I'm done with the double O's. The only vowel right now is O, so this is actually pretty limiting. Like, how many? Go-go? Pogo? Mogo? Togo? Togo feels like a word for some reason. Why does Togo feel like a word? It feels like a thing. It's a yeah. Oh yeah, it's a country. Okay. Anyway, what was I even saying at this point? Krish, what's up? Hey, how'd you do on the SAT? Let me know. And if you need any advice, let me know. Right now, I'm taking a break from thinking about the SAT because my brain hurts. 1540, damn. Is that paper or is that digital? And do you mind breaking it apart into like the different sections, like math versus every paper? So how'd you do on here? Let me actually just type this out like this. Do you mind sharing it like this? What do you call it? By the way, these numbers are just made up numbers, but you know, something like that. Congratulations, man. That must, well, actually, I don't know. That might not necessarily feel good if you were constantly, what do you call it? If you took it for like, if you took it and this is your third time and all your previous times you got 1540, then yeah, that would not necessarily feel good. So, but that is a solid score. So I'm curious, you know, how you're feeling about it. Meanwhile, I'll be doing whom? USC, right? It is that time. USC, cool, man. That is cool, man. So congratulations. USC is a good school. You know, are you into film at all? Because that's kind of a thing. Hang on. What I'm thinking of I'm thinking of loot. Wait, luge. Yeah, I was thinking of luge. Wait, how do you pronounce luge? No, that just luge. Yeah, that's correct. Luge. Luge. Wait, that's kind of a strange. Is this how they normally? Luge. Okay, yeah, that's fine.
Luge.
Why does it sound so French the way they say it? Anyway. Business school. Okay, yeah. Business. You, you sound like you have a bright, promising future ahead of you, man. Congratulations. That must feel really good. You're a senior, so you get to now kind of dick around for 3 more months. So have fun. Krish, thank you. Oh no, not Krish. This is different. That's Imasako. Imasako, you got your paper SAT. 1570 minus 370 minus 1 400. Ooh, writing -1 and you still get a 400. That must have been a hard writing section. I'm actually really what has the PDF come out yet? Probably not, right? March SAT 2023 Reddit. Score released. Dude, do they even have the PDF? Are they gonna share the PDF now? Because it's kind of annoying that QAS. Can we get the QAS for March 2023? Oh, shoot. How do I admit? All right, I'm not really a... Sir, please. Wait, is this the correct guy? Yeah. Yo, I want that QAS. Give me that hit. I need the hit. Huh? I'm hella confused because I'm not really a Redditor, so why is it like this? Like, why do I have to accept my own chat? Accept to chat with myself. What the hell? Can I? Is Reddit chat just hella buggy or what? I do not know what the hell just happened. I'm gonna try that one more time. But hey, Krish and Imasako, thank you for sharing. You guys got real solid scores. Holy shit! And reading, you guys got 390. Oh, yo, Krish, man, you needed to study some grammar, man. Grammar, dude. Okay, so Krish, apparently you read a lot growing up, and you did not prepare for the SAT very much, did you? Yeah, apparently you did not. You clearly, yeah. Apparently you did not. You did not take like a concentrated period of time to like study for the SAT. Yeah, dude. That's because you're just an arrogant shitbag is what you are. You're like, yeah, I can do the SAT. I don't need to study for it. That's what. I'm kidding. I was the same way when I was your age. I barely studied for the SAT. My cat keeps whining, so he's just stupidly cute. So I'm gonna pick him up. Oh, he's running away. Okay, he's running away. You kept getting 4 to 5 wrong on writing. And so, hey, but just this is for both of you, Imasako and Krish. But are you guys done with the SAT, or are you gonna take it again? I mean, just for what it's worth, you really don't need to take it again. But depends on obviously your goals. ACT, yeah. And that, by the way, just for anyone else that's watching that might be thinking about it, I recommend just taking a second test because you never know if you fit better with a second test. I know that my YouTube channel isn't really about the ACT, but that's not because I'm against it or anything. It's just because I'm lazy. I'm almost certainly gonna do the ACT at some point in the future, although it's probably not going to be this year. But you should date around. You should meet people. You know what I mean? And so it's like you're dating these different tests and see what works for you.
I just put a Snickers in my mouth, so I'm not gonna be able to talk for a minute. Yeah, it's a little subjective, but it is. The ACT really wasn't my style though when I was a kid, because I'm more of a plodding, like a slow and deliberate thinker, and ACT is more just sort of run and gun. It's more Rambo. I don't know about nowadays because I haven't taken the ACT in like probably close to like 7-8 years, because that was the last time I like at least tried to teach it. And even then, I wasn't really focusing on the ACT, so it wasn't my area. My area was SAT. But from what I remember, it's very run and gun. And, you're just sort of like, it's like, yeah. Are you playing Counter Strike, or are you playing Hell Let Loose? You know what I mean? So it's kind of SAT is closer to Hell Let Loose. So it's not as far as Hell Let Loose actually. The old SAT felt more like Hell Let Loose. So wait, are you playing Hell Let Loose? That'd be crazy. Oh, Valorant. yeah. That would, because I bet there's only like a very few high schoolers that play Hell Let Loose. That'd be so specific. It feels like a very millennial game. It feels very like my age. But I don't know, because I don't play a lot of FPSs anymore. So I don't know what's normal. Ho ho, hoo hoo. Momo, Togo. We did Togo. Go to Totomo, Kokomo. Wait, Kokomo is a Beach Boys song. Yeah, Kokomo is a Beach Boys song. Valorant, yeah, I've seen some Valorant streamers. It does seem fun, but first-person shooters, it just, like I saw that one Valorant streamer who's a Korean guy, who's not like super skilled, but he's just like very, very positive and has a nice personality and speaks Korean and Japanese. And then there's all these like Korean and Japanese girls that like go on a stream. It's like this it's like this funny like weird little niche that he has. I forgot his name. It was Deadly Jimmy. And so I don't know how YouTube decided to show me Valorant streams, but I ended up watching Deadly Jimmy's. It seems fun, but also it seems like me hanging out with a bunch of 14-year-olds. And if I'm gonna do that, and it's not for work, then what am I making? I'm just gonna question my own life choices. Yo-yo has to be a word. Oh, come on. Toot is a word. Toot. Okay. Tutti fruity. Loom. Did I do loom yet? I did. Moolah. We don't have an A. Homo? Homo. Homologous. Wait, homologous is a word, right? It's like it sounds. Yeah. Damn, dude, that's like such a. Is that biology? It sounds so Yeah, biology. Damn, dude. That was a long time ago. All right, homologous is a word. It's not on the thing. No, there's no B. There's no E. Like the funny thing about this list is the only vowel is an O. So I have to work with it. Huh? It's. Oh, you know what? I didn't start with the letter O. Global. Wait, did I hear about this? Oh, dude, I'm gonna suck. I'm gonna suck at this, but I'll try it. I'll try it. What the? Okay, I'll try it after I take a couple more. I take a couple more shots at this. Otomo. That sounds. YOLO would be funny. Man, what? Okay, let's look at some hints right now. There is an O word. It's 7 letters long. There's multiple GLs and GOs, and I don't have any of them. So let's do it. Let's start there. Glue. Glom is a word. Whoa, I forgot about glom. What does glom mean though? It's something like, I'm trying to remember. Let me try to. It's not grok. So grok is like kind of understanding. What is glom? Glom onto, right? Glom onto. Is it like whole? Dude, I forgot glom. To grab a hold of. Glommed onto her ideas. So that's why I actually thought grok, because I was thinking of ideas and like understanding. So glom from Scots, to steal, to glom onto someone else's idea. Okay. Yeah. Okay, so Krish is smarter than me apparently. Glom. All right. Glot is not a word. Glute. This is when you do lunges, but your lunges you do too many lunges, and now you don't got regular glutes, you got glutes. GL. Glog? Glock? We don't get a Glock. We don't get CKs here. Gloom, duh, and then gloomy. Okay, those are my 3 GLs. And then there's GOs. There's 5 GOs, and I only have 1. And 5 of them are, oh wow, that's crazy. 770 with perfect writing. You already used the strat of predicting the answer choice. There's a lot of things that could be going wrong. Oftentimes it's not vocabulary, even though you think it's vocabulary. It's oftentimes not vocabulary, but basically to test if vocabulary really is the issue, you really have to go back through all the questions that you think was attributable to vocabulary, and you have to think, was my prediction correct? And how could I have higher confidence prediction? Because if your prediction is wrong, then it doesn't really matter whether your vocabulary like got better a lot of times. So there's that sort of situation. I'm spitballing, but I also had to. I woke up at 4:30, so just forgive me for being a little slow today. Wait on, I'm trying to imagine my students who are almost close to perfect score. Time management comes because they're either it depends on your personality, but this is a different concept that comes out, which is, are you underconfident or are you overconfident? So a lot of times the way that boils down is like the time it takes you to make a prediction, and then the time it takes you to then after the prediction, the time it takes you to make a selection. you might find that you're too fast or too slow on any one of those parts. And oftentimes, if you're too fast or too slow on those parts, and this really depends on the question. Like, there's no one single number that you need to hit. It depends on that question. So you have to think, what is the optimal time for this one question? But like, oftentimes what happens is you'll end up double checking like process elimination like multiple times when you already have a prediction and you already like. My whole strategy is predict and match. Don't predict and then process eliminate, right? You predict and then you match, and then you process eliminate as a second strategy if needed, right? It's not your main strategy. It's your side pistol, to use a Valorant analogous terminology. But so you're not using process elimination all the time, but you still should. But some kids take this too far, so they're still doing too much process elimination. So you need to cut that down, and you need to start taking more risks by being like, I predicted it. I see the answer. It matches my prediction. Let me move on. If you feel iffy about it, then you need to practice like bookmarking, like checking, circling, skipping, and returning. You could do that. So that's a pretty common area of improvement. Another area of improvement it's this one is hard to just. I mean, I think if you're at 770, you'll probably know what I mean. So I think I'll just describe it, and you'll probably be able to figure it out just from just the verbal description. But you have to defend the full answer sentence. And this is a concept that I constantly teach in class. It's not something that comes out in streams because I'm just doing it all the time in the stream. And it's, I need a student to talk to who is actually struggling on this for it to actually come out. But this is a concept that always comes out. Actually, even this comes out for high level students and for low level students. It comes out for everyone. Everyone has to learn this at some point. You have to defend the full answer sentence. What that means is, starting from the question stem, let's say that you're looking at answer choice C. Starting from the question stem all the way to the period at the end of answer choice C, that is the full answer sentence. Okay, and I call that the answer sentence. C just by itself, that little fragment, that's just the answer choice. But the answer sentence starts at the question stem and it ends at the end of the answer choice. And you have to defend the full answer sentence. And what that means is you have to break down grammatically the answer sentence into multiple parts. Sometimes the answer sentence is very, very long and there's multiple parts you need to look at. So you need to identify all the parts that need to be defended and be like, okay, let's say that you have to break it down into 4 parts. Okay, so it says something, 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 a theory. Okay, so let's talk about this theory. Let's go figure out what this theory is. And then you have to find evidence from the text for that theory. And a lot of kids, when they're overconfident, they're like, oh, this is talking about that theory. And then, they will ignore the other 3 parts and they will just choose C right away. Now you're being overconfident because you didn't defend the full answer sentence. You only defended one part of it. For kids who are closer to like you're saying that you got 770 and you're underconfident, you ran out of time. Usually the problem is the opposite. Okay, there's a theory which challenges a preconceived notion that was historically predominant or something like that, right? And then so you found all 4 of those pieces. Okay, but the problem is you're not actually intentionally defending all 4 of those parts. The theory, the challenging, the the viewpoint or something, historically predominant, right? You're not specifically actually defending all 4 of those from evidence from the text. You're just sort of remembering it, right? You're remembering it from the passage and it feels kind of right, but you didn't actually do the work of doing of double checking every single phrase with a corresponding piece of evidence in the text. So what happens is at that moment, you kind of remember that C is the correct answer because you kind of vaguely remember that historically predominant blah blah blah. You kind of remember stuff like that from the passage, but because you're not matching it, you actually end up doing process elimination. Like a lot. Like you're not even looking at C anymore. You're looking at A again. You're looking at D again. You're looking at A again. You're looking at C again, and you waste a lot of time doing that. Because you should have just defended it. You should have just defended C, and then once you defended C, you'd be like, oh, whoa, shockingly, I feel a lot more confident in C, right? Like if you just matched the evidence to C, you would have been fine. But instead you didn't. You had it fuzzily in your head. You got almost to the last mile, but you just didn't cross the finish line, so you're wasting all your time on A, B, and D instead. So that's pretty common. For kind of neurotic and underconfident kids, that's that's pretty common as well. So those are some other. Hang on, what did I cover? I covered time management and confidence. I covered defense and confidence. I briefly mentioned vocabulary. You mentioned something about history. History. So this is another, because this is the paper SAT, time management is actually super critical, but one thing you probably could just do, practically speaking, is you just like how I do it on my streams, just like write down your timestamp next to every single question, and you'll start to realize that out of the 52 questions, wait, it is 52 questions, right? I haven't taught paper SAT in a while. Yeah, out of 52 questions, I think, out of the 52, okay, I think it's 52 questions. Anyway, out of the 52 questions, you may be shocked to realize that for like 49 questions, you are under 2 minutes, and whatever. But like for the remaining 3 questions, okay, from question 50, 51, and 52, suddenly you're spending more than 3.5 minutes or something like that on those questions only, and it's actually absorbing. It's actually sucking out all the time from the other questions. Moreover, you might also learn when you actually look at the answer key that those 3 questions, even though you spent 3.5 minutes on them, you're still getting them wrong. So it wasn't even really worth the effort. It would have been better for you to go back to one of the easier questions that you spent less than 2 minutes on and spend an additional 30 seconds catching the dumb error that you made, right? Stuff like that. So you will never learn where your weakness is if you don't write timestamps. And you will never be able to tune your internal clock if you don't constantly match if you don't constantly associate a specific feeling, which you're subjectively feeling internally, with an actual number, right? And timestamps does that for you. Every time you go to a new question, you're like, okay, I'm solving it. This one's kind of hard. Okay, I feel like it took me about 1.5 minutes maybe, and then you write down the timestamp, and then you realize, oh, I did take 1.5 minutes. Then that's calibration. Whereas most kids, they're not calibrating ever, so they don't have an internal clock at all, and so they're just going through the test sort of just by a very unrefined gut feeling. It's like, oh, blah 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 blah, and then at the very end they're just rushing. That's not a good strategy. You have to actually calibrate your internal clock. You have to know what a minute feels like. You have to know what 1.5 minutes feels like. You have to know what 2 minutes feels like. And I think you probably know from my streams, I think I spend like less than 1 minute on like the vast. It's been a while since I've done a paper SAT, so I don't remember anymore. But like I spent less than 1 minute for probably like the vast majority of the questions, and it's like maybe somewhere in the range of like probably at least 40 of the questions I spent less than 1 minute, something like that, right? And then the remaining 12 questions I spent like a little more, like more than a minute, somewhere between. Like sometimes it's a lot more than a minute, but still, right? And I think I don't remember exactly what it is, but I think on the paper SAT, usually what happens is if I spend more than 2 minutes, I'm like actually angry at that point. It's like, I'm spending too much time on this. So if you ever watch my streams, you'll probably notice something like that. I'm pretty sure it's the 2 minute mark where I start noticing that this is just like a waste of time. Um, and so the question is, is your internal clock as developed as mine? You know, if it's not, then you should work on that. Ludwig, thank you for 2 words. I reading problem. Okay, cool, man. I have no idea what I don't know what that is. Lulu seems like a word. No, it's not a word. Was I thinking of loofah? I think I was thinking of loofah. I was thinking of loofah. No, I was thinking of hang on. Yeah, no, I was thinking of loofah. Okay, this is what I was thinking of when I was thinking loofah. Random user, let me know if that was helpful, because I was spitting hella game right now. Guys, random user asks so much of a better question than you guys. Can you guys improve your question? Can you please, like, just improve your question? I'll tell you how to improve your reading. Golly is a word. Goth is a word. Gothy is not a word. Okay, so I got 3 GOs now. How to improve your question? So look at what a random user said. A random user was more specific about what their struggle was. Although a random user seems to have pieced out in the middle of my explanation, which was literal gold, because a random user did not reply to me, even though I gave like a multi-item like answer to your question, random user. God, I hate random users. Just asking me questions and making me sucking on my breath. What was I saying? But yeah, if you can be more specific about where you are, what you tried, what strategies you've used, you know, where you are, like, you need to tell me more about your struggle. Okay, how to improve reading? Read more. Gala. Yeah, you know, you're gonna be shocked at how useful those timestamps are, especially if you're at 770. Like, you know, a lot of times it's not because of the comprehension. It's a lot of times because of your test taking habits. So let me know how that works for you. Okay, I haven't been streaming as much these days, so you may not be able to find me on stream. But yeah, like I'd be very curious how that works for you. Gah. Okay, you know what? I'm done with this. Let's go to global or global or. Wait, what? There's a new mystery country using the fewest number of guesses. Is this literally just clicking around it? Is there any hint whatsoever? Huh. Okay. Enter the name of any, I guess Lagos? Lagos is not a capital city? What? Nairobi? Okay, there we go. Oh, it's yellow. Wait, not. Oh, so I can't just click. I have to actually know the names of. I have to actually know the names of these. Okay, well, dude, I'm not good at geography. Abu Dhabi. Wrong direction. Okay, Johannesburg. Oh, it's not. What the hell is Wait, is yellow close or is it not close? I have no idea. Uh, dude. Okay, well, let's try Brazil. Wait, what's Brazil's? Is it Brasilia? Oh, that's very far. Holy crap. So, what's down here? What's South Africa's capital? Hey, this is actually kind of fun because I don't know capitals that well. South Africa City. What is South Africa's capital? What the hell? Dude, I have to look it up because I don't think I can get it just by. I just don't know. Like, how am I gonna guess something if I just don't know the capital? Like, what's the capital of the Congo? Congo? Zimbabwe? Dude, I need like that's the thing, like Zimbabwe City. Like, I don't know the names. I don't know the names of the capitals. Okay. I'm gonna cheat. I'm gonna figure out what this. Let's start with the South Africa capital. Cape. Oh my God, I should have known that. Wait, it's not. Then what's this Google nonsense? South Africa capital. Oh, is it Pretoria? Oh, that's so specific. Okay. Okay, well, if only I'd known Pretoria earlier. Should I do Madagascar? Wait, is that Madagascar? Yeah, but like, what's yeah? See, that's my problem. I'm not good at geography at all. Let me just double check. That is that huge island. It is. So what's their capital? Oh, OK is asking a specific question. I'll get back to you in a second. I'm just thinking about Madagascar. Wow, I would never have known that. Antananarivo. 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 Okay, that was not right because I was going for red, so I was too. Okay, what's the country right above South Africa? Is that Zimbabwe? Like, my ignorance is showing. Am I? Nope. Yeah, it's pretty far. No, I know this. I know this country, but I don't know it right now. Oh, wait. No, I was right. Okay, I was thinking Zimbabwe. Okay. So let's do her. What's the capital of Zimbabwe? Is it Harare? Harare. Let's try it. Ugh. I guess I have to be somewhere like right here. Okay. Now I'm gonna actually answer OK first. So OK is asking how many hours a day should I study if your previous course was 650 and you want to become 700, 2 months per day. I mean, is it enough? It is. It's enough because that's a lot of studying. But it's the more important part is how many like basically the real unit of change. The real unit that you need to be focusing on is not how many hours you put into it or how many questions you solved. The real unit that you should be tracking is how many changes have you made to your test taking. Because you can technically make like you can technically go for 2 months and make 0 changes to your test taking, and what'll happen is you're going to get roughly the same score because your knowledge hasn't changed. I mean, your knowledge might change marginally. Like you might know a little bit more about you might know a little bit more about the Civil War and stuff like that. You might know a couple more vocabulary words, but your knowledge is not going to fundamentally change in 2 months. However, your test taking can change quite a lot in 2 months. If in fact, it can change quite a lot in 2 weeks. So you may be able to go from 650 just to 700, like literally 2 weeks from now, based on how many changes you make. So change your test taking. Every single time that you do that you sit down to study, it's not really important if you're reviewing a full test or not. It's more important whether you are actually learning something that might give you a clue as to what to change next time when you see a similar question, and then you apply that change. Okay, to use coding terminology, you're deploying the code. Okay, you're designing a feature, and you're going to deploy the code into a test environment first, and you're testing it out on a couple questions, and then you're like, wait, that kind of fucking worked. So then you deploy it to production. Like you want to constantly be changing your test taking and seeing what works, and then baselining that, like turning that into part of your main test taking strategy. So you can spend 2 hours a day and it may have zero effect on your score. You can spend 2 hours a day and you might hit your score like literally 2 weeks from now. It really just depends. Not really on the hours. It depends on how many changes you've made to yourself and to your test taking in that time. So focus on that and you'll be good. You'll be good. And I just gave a lot of tips for things that you could change. So, just like earlier, a random user said that he or she already uses the prediction strategy. So if you use prediction strategy, if you don't use the prediction strategy yet, then try it. Change your strategy and see if that changes anything. All right. There's no way I'm going to know these capitals names because it's not my thing. So let's do Botswana. Gaborone, is this a capital? Jesus. What other capital is right there? It's Namibia's. All right. Oh, Lesotho is a whole country, huh? It must be here. Like I don't even know this country. Okay. Maseru. That's a cool sounding capital. What? Pissing me off. Jeez. Okay, I'm just getting angry now. What? Am I supposed to go this way? Is it next to? All right. I need to bring these closer together. Okay. What is the darkest? So it got warmer from here to here. So I guess that seems like the right location. So let's go to Eswatini, which has Maputo as the capital apparently. Dude. Wait, is that Mozambique? Oh, that is Mozambique. But I want to do Eswatini. People say, I heard mixed things about Erica Meltzer for reading, and I also I recommend Erica Meltzer for writing, but I do have some problems with her writing book. I suspect that the reading is going to be problematic in some ways as well. But you know what? It doesn't really matter that much whether a book is good or not. The more, again, going back to the idea of changing things, like as long as you read it and you find something that's worth trying, it's worth it, right? Because reading doesn't take that much time, honestly. You can skim a book and you're just scanning it for things that feel new to you, and you find something that feels new to you, then you try to apply it, and if it's good, then it's good. It's good for you. So you're working at the 650 level, so I feel like at that point you're not plateaued yet. I feel like just using books like Erica Meltzer or materials like UWorld or whatever, it's going to take you pretty far. Like there's still some mileage left in that. There's still some gas left in that tank. So you might as well just like use whatever you do have. You don't need a perfect book. You just need more ideas, right? So as long as you have more, so as long as Erica Meltzer is giving you ideas of things that you can try, then yeah, it's worth it. If you can produce those ideas on your own without the help of a book, then that's fine too. Then you don't need a book at all. You can just like review your own tests and be like, oh, that's something I could try, and then just try it on your own. Like that's theoretically possible as well. I mean, it's a lot harder when you do it unguided, but it's possible as well. But just to be point blank, just to answer, do I recommend Erica Meltzer's book on reading? I do not, because I've never read it. I've never read her book on reading. So I don't know. I cannot make a recommendation there. Babane. Oh wow, dude, that is insane. All right. Well, those are. I don't even know if I'm going to remember those capitals. Okay. I'm going to memorize Pretoria because I kept guessing Pretoria, but all the other ones, dude, there's no way I'm going to remember those. Antananarivo, Pretoria, Mbambane. Okay, I learned one thing from this today. I learned Pretoria. Who recommended this? This was actually not bad. It's kind of a janky UI. It's kind of cute but it's cute in a janky way, or it's janky but cute. And they literally use the same UI as Wordle. Or the same design language. Okay. No problem, okay? Oh. That is an author. That is not a thing. Gotti. Goggly? Oh, goggly is a word. Goggly. Hang on. So how many GOs do I have? I have 4 GOs. I have 4 GOs out of 5. I have both of the 4-letter. Okay, this is a 4-letter. This is a 4-letter. So I have both of the 4-letter Gs. How many 5-letter Gs do I have? I have 1 5-letter and 2 5-letters. So I have both of the 5-letter Gs. So that means I have 1 6-letter left. 1 2 3 4 5 6, 1 2 3 4 5 6, and 1 2 3 4 5 6. There's one more 6-letter word that starts with GO. Gamali. You bought the Erica Meltzer reading book. It emphasized skim reading. Your score went down. Yeah. I mean, the thing though that I wouldn't blame Erica Meltzer for specifically for that is every book recommends that. So I think every book is bad for those strategies. But you know what? Okay as in the person. Hey, okay. I want even the fact that you can buy the book, you can get the idea, and then you can try it, and then you realize that's a failure. Okay? Even that is a result. Even that is a valid change. Because now what changed is you became more certain that you shouldn't do it that way. And that is a change. So externally, it might look like you didn't change anything because it might seem like you wasted $20 on this book, if literally that's the only idea that the book gave you, right? But the thing that actually changes when you buy the book and when you try the strategy and then you realize it doesn't work for you, so then you stop using that strategy. The thing that changes is now you have an allergic reaction to that way of taking that test. And so on the real test, you're not gonna, when you panic, you're gonna be much less likely to actually do the skim reading, right? That is a change. It's meaningful. Like in science, having no results is still meaningful. Like you to have a hypothesis and not to be correct, that is still a meaningful advancement for science, and it's the same is true for test taking. Survivor, man, you have been surviving and you have not been getting your results. If you don't have your results yet, then I suspect that you're not going to get your results today. So I don't know if it's worth waiting anymore. I think Reddit will probably tell you the same thing, because you should have your results by now, I think. So at this point, I would recommend focusing on something that you can work on. Try not to be distracted so much. I don't know, if it literally is just playing a game, then go play a game. But if you have some project to work on a project, and just check again tomorrow. And then if you don't have it tomorrow, I'm assuming you're in the States, so I'm assuming it's evening time for you. So if you still don't have it tomorrow, then you might have to wait like a whole week or whatever, because your test center might be being investigated or whatnot. That sucks though, man. It sucks when you have to like just constantly wait. Toga. Oh. You're not in the States. Wait, you're not in. Hang on, you're not in the States, but you took the paper SAT? Oh no, you took digital SAT. Sorry, you were at the beginning of the stream. Okay, yeah, you got the digital SAT. Oh, everyone at the test center got their results, but you didn't get yours? Are you on a VPN? Can you do a hard refresh? Like clear out your cache in your browser, or maybe go to like incognito mode, and then just log in again with incognito mode. Now, I assume that that's not going to make any difference, but you could try it. Yeah, I don't know, because the digital SAT score is rolling out. I mean, I don't know how, like, I don't know what their new schedule will be, so we're just sort of waiting and seeing. Let me know when you get your score, I guess, because that sounds kind of rough. Just waiting. Goalie. Man, I don't think I can think of. Oh, that's a weird word. I can't think of that. I have no H words, so let's work on those. HO. Hoot is a word. Hootie is not a word. That sounds dirty. Human is dog owners or cat owners trying to be cute. Hooligan. Hottie. Wait, hottie is not a word? Come on, man, hottie. Hottie? Okay, whatever. Holly is a type of, is that a flower? It's a plant. Oh, plant. Yeah, I'm dumb. Okay, hoggy. Guys, I'm so sleepy. Like, I'm like, I am a little legit sleepy. Holy. Oh, hey, oh, Survivor, you and I thought, like, I literally just saw it after I put it up there. Holy. So 3-letter words don't count. You have to have 4 letters to start. Homie? So homie with a E works, but homie with, yeah, with an E, yeah. No homo. No There's 6 HO words. There are 6 HO words, and we have 3. And 3 of them are 4 letters, which is like really hard to imagine. Like I have hoot, but like what's another H, like literally what's another HO word? Oh no, we have 2 of them. We have holy as well. So there's at least one more 4-letter HO word, which is it ho ho? Okay, no. Is it who? What is a different eight? Holo? Hollow? I already did homo, because of course I did. But like, like what is this 4-letter HO word? Hoagie? Hoth? Is Hoth a word? And that was not a word. Okay, I can't even imagine this 4-letter HO word. That's so strange. Hoyt. Hoy. Hoy. Dude, I don't fuck it. Hoyo. Okay. No idea what that 4-letter word is. We have 2 5 letters and 1 8-letter, so that's a long one. Okay. So there's 1 5-letter, but there's 1 more 5-letter and 1 more 8-letter. So 8-letter could be with homo or hollow. Hollow. Yeah, Holt doesn't. Wait, what? First of all, I thought I tried Holt, but what does Holt even mean? A den of an animal. Wow, I did not know that. A Holt. A small woods, a copse. I had no idea that that was a word. Yo, Survivor, thank you. Okay, yeah. That I actually thought I tried it, but I don't know. Okay, yeah, like it's a crazy word. Can we get this 8-letter? Homology. Whoa, I just sort of homologous and homology. I literally said homologous earlier. I see. I don't know what it is though. It's a way of associating a sequence of algebraic objects with other mathematical objects such as topological spaces. So it's kind of like a conversion. Huh. Okay, I don't really know. And it's too technical for me, but homology, okay. I'm surprised I got that so fast. So we have one more 5-letter HO word. Ho, mom. Holy? Hootie? I cannot think of a 5-letter HO word. I'm gonna move on. There's a lot of MO words. There's one MY word as well. By the way, guys, if you're joining kind of late and if you have no idea what I'm doing, I'm still just waiting for like if you have questions, if you share your SAT score and you kind of tell me what you're struggling with, I'm still happy to answer any questions I can. Molt. Moto didn't work. Moto did not work. But molt and multi? Mommy. Moly? Is that a word? Molly? Is that a word? I mean, it is a word, but what does it mean besides Molly? That's hilarious. Can I get an actual definition? Oops. Whoa, a mall. That was not what I was. Yes, that's a word. It's a prostitute. Yes, I know this. Or I used to know this. I probably wouldn't have just known it right away. So yeah, we have obviously Molly, the ecstasy drug, but there's also a fish called a Molly. I had no idea. Fish. And that's what a Molly is. It's kind of cute. No, Molly is not a word. Momo is a Japanese word for peach. Moolah is slang for slang for money. Moody is not a word. Hang on, how many MO words do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have 5 MO words. There's 3 more left. And one of these words is 9 letters long, and it could start with a MY or a MO. Mythology. Mythology. Fuck yeah. Genius. Yeah, I did do gloom. Mythology. That means there's myth. Wait, what? Oh no, yeah. Myth. Oh, dude. Oh. My body is shutting down, guys. Last night I socialized. I had some beers until the ungodly hour of 11 p.m. and then I came home and I crashed. And I woke up at 4 and I am super tired. I'm having like an out of body experience. I really wish I could just like listen to music on stream, like proper music, not like music that is specifically made for YouTube, but like music that I actually want to listen to. You know what I mean? I wish I could just listen to music because that would keep me going. The question is, what could you do to be better prepared for AP Lit? That's actually, I hate this advice of like read more, but people say read more, and they make it sound like this, like it's the only real answer. And I mean, at a fundamental level, it is, but like, there's so many things you can improve for things like the SAT. That's not just reading more. For AP Lit though, like it's good to read not necessarily long novels, but to read a lot of different things. So short stories would be good. A poetry collection. Now that might be a little challenging for you. So if it's not motivating, honestly, if it's going to be during the summer, you want to do something that you can, like, if it's going to be optional, like it's not something that anyone's forcing you to do, then you want it to have some bare minimum level of enjoyment, right? Because if there's no enjoyment, it's gonna be really hard to push through. Uh, hey, Soberov. Please don't call me by my last name. It's kind of funny. Saul is my name. You can call me Saul. Lee is my family name and my last name. You don't have to. Hey, Lee. Yeah, that's not me. Anyway, going back to AP Lit. Yeah, I would, if I were you, I would probably work on a collection of short fiction. And in fact, I'll actually just, I'll shop around with you. So Amazon, I'm assuming you're in the States. Short fiction or short stories. Okay. Okay. You could do 2022. Okay. But this is gonna be like you can do the best American short stories. Now this is if you're genuine, like you can actually go to like look at it, like see if you enjoy any of these stories. That said, it can be pretty hit or miss because like you might not like contemporary fiction. Like this best American short stories, these are all stories that were published last year, so that means it might have connection to like COVID or I don't know, race relations and things that you might not just naturally be interested in, or you might, I don't know. So you would want to try it. Plus Heidi Pittler, you may or may not like the stories that she likes. So you kind of have to kind of F around with it. So these aren't classics; these are just recent ones. All right, but this is still a good collection to work with. Then honestly, with these kinds of, so I have a copy of this at home. Right now I'm not at home. I'm in Vietnam, so I don't have it. I've not seen this before. This is fairly new. And okay. So personally, I love American literature. I'm very American in my reading. But this is a classic and this is also a good book. I have this one as well. So let me share them to you. Yeah. So, or you could go for 50 dirty, nautic, erotic short stories. 3 adjectives straight in a row. By the way, guys, whenever you write, I hope you always have 3 adjectives in a row. 50 dirty, naughty, erotic short stories. Man, you are smart, intelligent, insightful boy. Dude. So I would not recommend this just based on the title. I would assume that this would harm your writing ability because of the 3 adjectives, like back to back. I'm pretty sure it's gonna worsen your English. But 100 Years of the Best American Short Stories, 50 Great Short Stories. This one's not only American, by the way, so I think this is pretty good. And you're gonna get classics, and these are more modern classics, so you're gonna have more of the modern voice and more contemporary fiction kind of represented here. But I mean, you gotta read whatever's interesting to you. So the nice thing about short stories is that you can experience a lot of different styles, and if you don't like it, you can just stop reading it and then you can come back to it later. Like it's so easy with short fiction to just like jump around, right? So that's one thing. But yeah, let me actually make some recommendations. Like I love Junpei Lahiri, so read some Junpei Lahiri stories. I'm reading some Junpei Lahiri right now. Ted Chiang is very commonly is very commonly recommended. So Ted Chiang. I don't know. There's so many short stories. I mean, if you want to do more classic American, Raymond Carver, master of minimalism. Raymond Carver, you know. But you really need to kind of dig around and figure out who is the who writes in a way that resonates with you. That is also like academically legit enough that it would actually help you with AP Lit. You know, so try to find that sweet spot, and then from there on, you know, you'll just you'll be able to like kind of roll with it and like actually expose yourself to a lot of fiction before school starts. And I think, I mean, honestly, if I was your age and if I got like a 770 without studying that hard for the reading writing, like that's probably what I would do. I wish somebody would have told me when I was like 17 or 16, like, oh, read some of this short fiction, like read some of these people are really good at writing. They're like really fucking good at writing, and you might not understand why they're good at writing, but you should try reading it and see what the deal is all about, and try to, you know, come up with your own conjectures for, you know, whether you think it's a good writing or not, and why it is good writing or not. You know, like try it, because, you know, it's the kind of thing you're going to see more and more anyway, going into college. So yeah, those are some recommendations for literature. I would focus more on, because the poetry and the drama and all that stuff, you're gonna see all that in class. So you could do, because the classic literary categories are fiction, poetry, and drama, right? So you could read more drama if you want. You could. Drama has a long history, so you might want to start with like the English, yeah, you know, Shakespeare, Johnson, whoever else, Marlowe, right? You could go back into Britain. You go old school with that, and see, and, you know, kind of develop your understanding of drama as well. But a lot of that can feel very academic because it won't feel as natural as reading fiction. So if you're doing it optionally, if you're just kind of doing it partly for fun and partly for prepping for school, then I would just recommend fiction. Yeah. Now there's some other questions that popped up. Shocksob, you got 1160. And I mean, you're not happy with the 1160, but, you know, let me know, like, what have you done to study? Like, what have you actually tried? Which SAT are you talking about? Are you talking about paper or digital? And like, what, where do you think your weakness is? You probably want to also break it apart into math and reading writing, because I kind of want to know, like, 1160 would be a very funny score if you, for example, got like an 800 on the math and 360 on the reading and writing. So it would be helpful to know where that came, like how is it being divided? Loadster, thank you for sharing the score. You got minus 16 on the reading. Minus 16 led to a 300. Minus 16 led to a 300? That was a pretty hard reading passage, huh? And minus 6 led to that was a pretty hard reading test, huh? Hang on, let me try to remember. Oh no, I think it's pretty normal. Never mind. Dude, I'm like forgetting my scales now for the paper SAT. I don't remember if minus 16 for 300 is normal or not. Okay. Anyway, that's whatever. I just did a bad calculation. I can't remember right now. Well, what should you do for May? I don't know. Like, you're gonna take the May test apparently, and what are you aiming at? Wait, what? I don't understand your score though. You got minus 16 for 300 on the reading, minus 6 on 340 for the writing, but why is minus 637, like, why is that not an 800 base score? I'm confused. Yo, guys, you guys have to organize this information better for me. Like, you have to tell me what your scores are, which tests you took. Like, if you're gonna have the math, there we go. If you're gonna have the math, then you got to be more specific with the math, and then you have to tell me what you're aiming at, and also what you actually already did to study. Because if I don't know any of that, I'm not. There's no way I can give you advice. Like, so you have to be more specific. Oh, I got my O there. Okay, so that gives me some options. That's interesting. Yep, prep books for reading tend to be not that useful. But earlier I was telling OK, like, wait, hang on. You are getting a 640 on the reading. You got 1470 on December, so that's 1390 this time. Hang on, let me just double check here. You got 1390 this time on the paper SAT. Whereas previously in December, you got a 1470. So you are not sure what to do. And it sounds like, okay, and it sounds like you are doing, well, you said you are doing question stem. So what that means is you are looking at the question stem, and you're not saying the word prediction, so I don't know exactly what you mean, but my word for this is prediction and matching, and I don't know if you are predicting and matching. But how about this? I'm gonna speak very generally for now. It sounds like you tried to do predictions, okay? You tried a strategy that some guy online on YouTube told you to try, and apparently it didn't work for you. So you should try other strategies. You need to keep making changes to your strategy and see what works. Okay? So just because some guy online told you that the prep books aren't key does not necessarily mean that you shouldn't look at those prep books. Maybe you should. Maybe you should look at the prep books, because the prep books will give you a different idea about how to take the test. And the most important thing is whatever you're doing, you're just changing in a positive direction, right? So maybe you should buy a prep book and try some of the strategies they talk about, and then you should observe. Okay, is this actually increasing my confidence? Is this decreasing my time? Is this making me get more correct? Okay, if it's increasing your confidence, if it's decreasing your time, if it's making you get more correct, then you should do whatever the prep book is saying, right? Oftentimes it'll be a mix. Sometimes you'll see some things from the prep book that's useful, some things that are not so useful. But whatever it is, you're gonna slowly absorb what strategies actually work for you, right? So keep changing it up, okay? If you don't change it up, then you're gonna stay stuck, and the motivation level is gonna drop. But if you change things, if you take like a sort of experimental mindset and you change things around, then you'll realize that sometimes these changes make very big impacts, and it'll be more exciting, it'll be more interesting for you. So that's the most important thing. Don't the most important thing is not just to trust what people are saying that they're doing, but to actually do what they do and see if it works. Okay. I don't really know I don't really know. I don't really have a clear picture of where your struggles are. So like it's hard for me to say something more specific, but let me check on my cat who is sniffing the toilet bowl. Give me a sec. Okay. Anyway. Yeah, but that's the general mentality you should be having. Like you need to right? If you are studying, your confidence should be increasing over time. If your confidence is not increasing over time, then you're not studying correctly. If you're not studying correctly, you need to change the way you're studying. You need to make your study more experimental. Okay, you need to like try things and see if it works. A lot of kids study in a sort of zombie mode where they're just like copying what other people are doing without thinking about it, about thinking about whether it actually is better for them or not. Okay, a lot of students fall into that rhythm, into that trap. I mean, it's the same thing with like anything. Like, you know, you could be an athlete, you could be like a track runner, but at some point you're just in autopilot. You're no longer thinking about your technique, your form, you know, your launch, your takeoff. You know, you're not thinking about it anymore. You're just doing everything just because it's your routine. You have to be there on Monday and Wednesday and Friday. And you're just doing it. You're going through the motions, but your brain is completely turned off. I mean, students fall into this all the time because, you know, society makes them follow certain schedules, right? So you're just like, you're just doing, you're barely awake, but you're just doing it, right? It's not bad to just go through the motions sometimes, because at least it keeps you going, right? But then if you're a total zombie, then you may actually just stay stuck. You may not be growing anymore, and at that point you have to change. So let's go back to shock sob. You took digital, you got 490, reading, writing. You know, if you're at 490, I think the first thing to do is you should work on your grammar. So buy as many grammar books as possible and work on the grammar. And the grammar books all sort of use different terminology, but you have a couple months. Like finish the first grammar book in 2 weeks, the second grammar book in another 2 weeks, maybe even 1 week if you have extra time, you know. But finish a couple of different grammar books and get a bunch of grammar practice. And then after that, go to the paper SAT and work on the writing test. Okay? Because if you're working on the writing test, actually you'll realize first you can solidify all that grammar knowledge, but on the writing test you actually still have to do some reading, so you can still passively improve your reading as well by taking the writing test. When you take the SAT QAS writing tests, you want to go back to the questions and 100% understand every single question. You don't want to just be like, oh, I got it right. You have to be like, I got it right, but do I know why I got it right? Do I have a strong reason for why I got it right? And if you don't have a strong reason, you should double check. You should ask other people about the reasoning. It doesn't matter if you got it right. You have to figure out why you got it right. Okay, so go and 100% understand every single thing from those writing questions, writing tests from the paper SAT, and then starting as you get into that rhythm, you know, then do a couple digital SATs, like one at a time, as diagnostics, just to measure your progress. So like, you know, week 1, you take practice test number 1. Week 2, you take practice test number 2. Week 3, practice test number 3, right? Week 4, practice test number 4. And then that's how you like measure your progress. Okay. So I think that should be pretty good, honestly. If you're at 490 and you go through 2 grammar books, and you work on and let's say you go through like 10 to 15 writing tests from the paper SAT while using the Blue Book practice test every couple weeks or every week or two to measure your progress, I think that's a pretty solid study plan, and you should see some significant improvement just because you're improving your grammar understanding. Acer or Acer, I think you're in a similar boat. You are 6'10", so that changes the grammar emphasis a little bit. Your grammar is probably still weak, so you should still have the same general approach. You should still read. You should still go through a grammar textbook and learn the basic grammar. Okay, Erica Meltzer is a pretty okay one, except that she doesn't know the difference between an adverb and a conjunction, and she just uses the word like a transition word or something. And then, so as long as you're not stuck, as long as you don't get too stuck on, like Erica Meltzer is highly inconsistent with her terminology for the adverbs. So the however and the therefore and the nevertheless and all that kind of stuff, just take it with a grain of salt whenever she talks about it. But generally speaking, it's good practice. So Erica Meltzer is a good, solid book to work with. And is it perfect? Is it? Because it would be shocking to have 6'10" and have 0 grammar questions wrong. Because 6'10" is pretty low. If your reading is really still not that good, I'd be curious what if you take 2 or 3 SAT writing QAS, as in the paper SAT writing QAS, I wonder how well you would do. Okay, so the paper SAT you were probably prepping for last year, right? The paper SAT, they have the writing test and the reading test. Take the writing test and see how well you do on a QAS. So what QAS means is you have to go and find the actual QAS, the release test from the past years, and try to solve some of them and see what scores you get. Because I'm pretty sure your grammar is not going to be perfect. I'm pretty sure it's not going to be perfect. I mean, you might be thinking of subject-verb agreement and stuff like that, but like that's not the only thing in grammar sections. So go and double check. And specifically, the nice thing about the paper SAT is that it does force you to read as well. You cannot get a perfect score on the paper SAT writing test unless you actually read. So you have to, and oftentimes you have to really know what it's talking about. So it's good. It's still good passive reading practice as well when you're doing the paper writing. So yeah, those are some of my recommendations, because there's honestly not a lot of resources out there for the digital SAT, so you got to work with what you have. You can use the books. Grammar. The nice thing about grammar books is that they're generally just, it's kind of like true or false, like they're just right. Except there are some errors that some grammar teachers make. So yeah, as long as it's not as there's not as many gray areas with grammar as there are with like the reading books. The reading books can be extremely variable in quality, and generally I would say they're probably pretty bad. So work with grammar books, work with the paper SAT writing test, and that'll kind of at least keep you going. You can obviously use a reading book as well, just for the extra practice. But be a little skeptical of the strategies that they recommend, and whenever they recommend a strategy, if you've never tried it in your life, try it. Try their strategy and double check. Well, Saul says their strategy is probably pretty bad, but is it actually bad? Try the whatever strategy they mention, and then see if it works for you. And if it doesn't, then you're like, okay, I guess Saul was right, then don't do it anymore. Okay, so that's kind of what. Yeah, I mean, I don't really care that much about whether your grammar is perfect or not. The main thing is, I am pretty sure when you take a paper SAT writing test, you're gonna struggle through it, and you're gonna have a lot to learn. And that's the most important thing. Are you learning? Are you changing? That's the more. And the paper SAT writing. The writing are good questions, so it's worth practicing on that stuff. Okay, I am exhausted. I have been awake since 4:30. I also have a minor hangover. My head hurts, so I'm gonna go and rest, guys. Seems like some of you still didn't get your scores, so sad. But thanks everyone who's willing to share your score, and And I'll see you in the Discord server if you have more questions. I can't promise a date that I'm going to come back to stream, so just catch me at the Discord server. Yes, I am recommending the SAT writing tests for practice. The SAT reading test is gonna feel pretty distant for digital SAT because they're still good tests, you know. And so if you're absolutely out of material, I mean, it's better than nothing, right? But it's going to emphasize reading ability, which the current the digital SAT no longer emphasizes. So it might not be very time efficient. So whereas I think the SAT writing test is still pretty useful. Okay, it helps you improve your reading and your grammar simultaneously. So it's still pretty good. All right, that's it for me. I am pooped. I had 4 of these Snickers. I'm hungry. I'm tired. I'm dizzy. I gotta go. Hey guys, I know a lot of you didn't get the SAT score that you wanted, but I want you to take a big picture view on these things, right? The main thing is if you yourself, you can tell that you are changing. You're getting smarter, you're getting wiser, you're becoming more confident. You know, you're developing knowledge in things that you didn't know before, right? If you are changing, then in the larger scheme of things, your scores, your performances, your results, they will follow you. Okay? They may not follow in a nice, beautiful curve. You know, it might be a little jagged and it's like a little erratic, it goes up and down, but those numbers, they will follow you. If you start chasing the numbers, then your numbers will get increasingly more erratic, okay? The numbers are a representation of your growth. It's not the other way around. So you have to focus on you actually learning stuff and actually getting better at stuff, okay? That's the focus. And as long as you lean into that and you trust that and you mess around with your reading and you mess around with your test taking and you mess around with your writing and you just see what actually is good for you, all right? Things will work out. Okay, so take some time, nurse your wounds. If you got a bad score, you know, go and listen to some really terrible, you know, Gen Z music, and get back on your feet starting next week. Go to school and kick some more ass, okay? Till then, I'll see you next time. Until then, keep on learning, keep on growing. Peace out.